G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. You're probably wondering why you're seeing me here editing. That's because I have just watched the video and cut down. It is long, man. I had a lot to say, I didn't realise. So if you're new to the channel, this might not be the most interesting video for you. It's just a whole bunch of talking. It's more for those of you who are subscribed and interested. Even those of you who are subscribed, feel free to just leave it on in the background or something and listen. It's just a lot of talking, to be honest. Anyway, with that, I'm going to get into the video, so let's play the clip. G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, a bit different from the usual, with all the craziness that's going on in the world right now. It's a little hard to go out and film off-roading videos, so today I just figured we'd do a bit of a channel update, talk about the trips coming up, talk about the trucks, and figured might as well do something interesting while I was at it. So we've got the new winch solenoid for the comp truck that's died, so it'd be good to have the winch running again, and then we're also just going to do a quick oil change on it. And I'm thinking I might even chuck the louder exhaust system on the comp truck as well and give you a bit of a little cheeky exhaust clip. Okay, first job, the oil and filter. Nailed it. Alrighty guys, well, while we let the rest of this oil drain out, I figured we might as well start talking about just a few of the updates we've got going on. Okay, let me get my list out. I'm so prepared. I even made a wee list for everything I wanted to talk about. Right, well, truck plans. Far out, there's heaps happening. I guess the best thing to start with would be the $100 disco. So if you watch my channel, you'll probably know the $100 disco. You might not know it's called that yet. So me and Matt did a bit of a price add up and found that we spent about $110 building the whole truck, so not too bad at all. Obviously that's not including the parts I already had lying around, but basically for 110 bucks we went from a pile of parts that were no use to anyone to quite a wee fun truck. But just because we've done the 7-day build and it's running does not mean that that is the end of what's happening with it. We've got heaps coming for it. I've already ordered some parts for it, so that's going to be super exciting. I might as well go show you the truck now because it's not looking quite as pretty as last time you saw it. Here she is. So I'm not going to say anything, but that might be a little hint as to what's happening in the future. This thing definitely needs some tyres because it's a little bit of a pain having to change tyres between the two trucks whenever I want to take one out or the other. So there's something happening there. I haven't quite decided what size tyres we're going for yet, but they're certainly going to be bigger. So this thing's going to be getting sorted out with some tyres and some new wheels, so stay tuned for that, and plenty more coming. Looking at re-gearing it, and I don't want to give too much away, but it should be quite the weapon. It's just going to be getting a little longer, hopefully. So that's that. It's still running just fine. As you can see here, we've also got a new ground anchor. I got it from Hunter Customs. I'll leave a link down below to where you can go to order those. Very affordable anchor. I'm going to be getting it galvanized and I'll run it for a bit, and I'm planning on doing a review on it. So yeah, that'll be awesome. It'll be good to have a ground anchor, and it'll also be good to have a working winch. So I guess we better crack into that, but first looks like the oil's finished draining, so let's get that bunging and change out the filter. While we let the oil make its way down so we can check the dipstick, just needs to all settle a little. I'm gonna give you an update on this truck because far out, have some things changed since you've last seen it on the channel. So basically this thing's not been on a proper video for about a year now, and in that time a lot of things have changed on it. I'm gonna do a full video on the truck itself and where it's at currently at a later stage, once I can get my hands on some nicer filming equipment so I can make a nice little crispy edity thing for you guys. But here she is. So you can see, like, to start with, we've got a winch which the solenoid is died on, so that needs to change. It's got an extra about 30mm lift, so we're now sitting at about 3.5 inch lift, which is a little more than I'd like for the 33s, but these tyres are actually oversized. These measure up at about 33.5, so they're big tyres. Speaking of the tyres, they're a Silverstone 33 10.5 15 comp tyre. We did a comp and they worked amazingly. Comp was going pretty well till we lost a fan belt and water pump belt and kind of got the truck a little hot. Fortunately the motor seems to be okay, but that was not ideal. Also, we've now got a e-locker in the front, and also down the back there is a auto locker, and we've re-geared to 4.1 diffs, and the axles are trussed using an XS 4x4 truss kit. So you can see, hopefully you can see there we are, there's the truss in the front, and I'll show you the truss down the back. There we go, and it's got a Gwyn Lewis heavy duty rear diff pan, same as what we run in the front on the $100 disco. So other than that, there hasn't been a heap of changes. It's mostly been axles and just a little bit of suspension and the tyres, and then of course probably just other little things which I've forgotten about. Right now we've not got the spare on it because I need to take the spare out of the $100 disco. Next job for this will be changing out the fuel tank, because we've actually cracked that, so I cannot fill up past half a tank of fuel without it getting all drippy. There's the new tank waiting to go in. Anyway, so that's a very quick overview of what's happening with the comp truck. With Lando, I don't know if you guys know, that's kind of the nickname it has other than the comp truck. I really should start calling it that, because it's just like, we've done competitions, but it certainly isn't a comp truck. But yeah, we've got plans. I'm planning on changing out to 35s very shortly, so stay tuned for a video on that. And then we've got some big things happening for it, but a lot of things need to get sorted before we do that. Until then, there's plenty of trips coming which I want to touch on next, but I'm going to check the dipstick first and see if we need to put more oil in. Well guys, that's looking like it's on the full mark, so I'll quickly fire up the truck and let it circulate, fill up the oil filter and things like that which don't have any oil in it, fill it and we'll top it up. But yeah, I'm going to fire it up, let it circulate, and at the same time I'll let you have a listen to the exhaust now, because I have oh, that's probably something you don't know. This truck has two exhausts, one for when I go on a like a long touring trip, and on this truck, the last time I drove that was when I did a big road trip for Christmas. So it's currently got a muffler in it, as you can see there, and then there's a little flange just there, and that can be swapped out to delete the muffler. And you know what, I kind of am fancying something with a little bit more noise today, so we'll swap that out. But I'll get you a quick exhaust clip of a before while I let the oil circulate. Kill two birds with one stone. Right, so I forgot to mention when I was talking about the truck, there's a few other things which I need sorting. It's just got a bit of messy wiring going on which I want to fix, and I've also, on one of the recent trips, I bent one of the links. So that link there, you might be able to see, has a bit of a bow in it. So I mean, it's not terrible, but it's definitely something I want to get sorted, so I'll be looking at swapping out a link. There's just a few things which need tidying up on this truck. Like, I haven't had a chance to properly wire in the light bar. You can see the switch is just sitting here. So yeah, it's just got a lot of little things which need tidying up, which I've been working on during lockdown. But yeah, no, it's all coming along nicely. I can't wait to get this thing back out on the tracks. Speaking of tracks, we've got some awesome trips coming up. You might remember in my last video, the Ashburton River Run, I said this. We've got some awesome trips over the west coast coming up. So yeah, unfortunately, because of the coronavirus and all that going on, New Zealand's been put into full-on lockdown. This weekend was meant to be my second weekend away over on the west coast of 3 weekends in a row. We're meant to be doing a trip up to Reefton and then Lake Daniels today, but obviously I'm here, and then this coming weekend we're meant to be doing the Reefton Teams event. So all of that's been cancelled due to the lockdown, which really sucks, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, all those trips will still, well, most of those trips will still try and get out to. They've all been postponed. Unfortunately, the competition's been cancelled for the year, but you know, there's always next year. But no, we've got plenty of trips over to the coast coming up. We definitely want to get back up the Waipara River as well, head up to the gorge, because that's always fun. And I don't want to give too many secrets away, but we've got some pretty cool trips coming up once we're allowed to get out on the tracks. So yeah, apart from those trips, there's one more one which I'm really looking forward to doing, and that is taking the $100 disco out for a proper shakedown. Obviously we've done 2 trips in it so far, well, 2 that you've seen. We've actually done 3, but unfortunately we only made it about half an hour in, and the alternator basically fried itself up. There was a big smoke show, started a little fire or something, and yeah, it was not looking too happy, so we ended up having to call that trip short and trailer at home. But we've done the Waipara River Run successfully, and same with the Ashburton River Run. So between those 2 trips, basically we've proven that it runs, but we haven't really given it a good test. So yeah, we're going to take the $100 disco out and really give it a good test, see what it can do. Yeah, looking to probably get it on the rocks and then some proper mud, and just really see how it does, because it is a surprisingly capable truck. Anyway, might as well recheck this oil, hopefully it's all good, and yeah, get on to the winch solenoid. Alright, well, dipstick's looking good, so I think we can call the oil change complete, and we'll get on to doing the solenoid. Alrighty guys, well, as you can see, we've got the solenoid off, ready to swap out. We've got the new one just here, just a replacement run for once. But while I'm at it, this is the bracket that we whipped up in a hurry when we were getting the truck ready for a winch comp last year. Obviously it's got no paint, so I figured why not go and throw some paint on it now, because you can see it is starting to rust a little. Well guys, we've got that drying now, so we're going to continue to swap over the solenoid. So guys, most of the way through swapping the solenoid over, we're just going to clean the plug up, because it's got a lot of corrosion in it, so that'll mean that then when we put the controller in, it should have a better connection. There we are, you can see there, if it focuses, there's quite a bit of corrosion in there, so we'll give that a clean out and then continue the swap. Also, something else I did want to quickly touch on while we were doing this bit of a update video is the camera. So not something you probably usually would expect to talk about in an off-road video, but I'm currently using a Canon G7X Mark II, and it is a really nice camera, but it's seen better days. So I can tell you that we've got some a few things coming to try and hopefully update it a little bit before I upgrade to the Mark III once I've got a bit more money in the account. So I can tell you that we will have some better audio finally, because up until now I've often had to just play music over the wind noise to try and hide it, but that does mean you get to miss out on hearing the V8 sing as well, which is not quite so much fun. So that is happening. Something else that I wanted to talk about is the fact that I'm looking at rebranding the channel. As you can see, currently Crawler79, it's just a weird name. I came up with it when I was like 12 years old and made the YouTube channel to put random videos on, and I've kind of just never really changed the YouTube name. So I'm looking at rebranding. If you've got any cool ideas down below, let me know. I'm thinking, because it's a vlog channel, I'll probably just use my name. But yeah, if you do see a change in channel name, that is why. Also, with us being stuck in this crazy time with all the coronavirus, which I want to touch on later in this video, it does make filming very hard. I don't know when I'll be able to next get on the tracks, but if you guys have any cool content ideas or anything you want to see me do, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've got any like suggestions of cool things I could do, preferably without having to leave the house. That would be awesome. I don't know if you guys want to do a Q&A, or whether you want to see me just do like a long video of me just raw working on the trucks, or who knows. If you've got anything, let me know down below. Alright guys, well, as you can see, we got it on. Unfortunately I couldn't really film. It's just really fiddly, especially with this front end I've put together. It's all just so tight. Everything has its spot and literally just fits, as you can see. Anyway, we're going to test out the new solenoid, make sure it works. So let's give this a go. It's all powered up. Yes, there we go. And back in. Successful repair. Anyway, next job is going to be the exhaust. That's going to be the last job for today. But before we do that, let's have a look at my list, see if there's anything I still wanted to talk on camera about. Truck plans, plenty happening on this, plenty happening on that. We've already mentioned that. Trips, already talked about the West Coast trips coming up at some stage, and about doing the river truck trip, check. Heaps of trips coming up basically. Channel info, talked about new camera, talked about rebranding, check. Last thing to talk about is the virus, coronavirus. Far out. It's a crazy one. Basically, for those of you who don't know me, I work over in a summer camp in America during the New Zealand winter, and then during the rest of the year I'm in New Zealand. However, this year it's looking very unlikely for me making it to summer camp, which really sucks. But yeah, that has thrown a big spanner in the works. I have no idea what's happening. You may also know that, I think I mentioned earlier in the video that last year when I was over there I met a lovely girl, Ellie. Love her to bits, but unfortunately it means that it will make it longer until I see her. So yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I won't go into too much, but yeah, this coronavirus, far out. I know I've not got it bad compared to some people, but it certainly made life a lot more stressful. So yeah, trying to get these videos out as well. I'm trying to do once a Monday, but it's hard, especially with there's just so much going on which you don't see, so much uncertainty. But anyway, I think I will go into it a bit more. Just with especially in New Zealand, we're looking to step down from alert level 4 down to 3. This is aimed towards all the New Zealanders. Just got the message. I don't know what's going to happen with alert level 3. I don't know if we're going to be allowed to go off-roading or not. From what I've heard, it doesn't sound like it's going to be allowed, but who's to know quite yet. We'll find out. Well, actually, by the time this is posted, you'll probably be able to know. But yeah, we don't know. If it's not allowed, just a simple message: just don't do it. The full driving community already has a bad enough name, with people going and tearing stuff up and ruining it for the rest of us. Like, just don't make it worse. There's some awesome organizations that have come out of all the craziness that has happened. Full drivers helping out people who can't get to supermarkets, things like that. With the coronavirus, they've been doing deliveries. There's all sorts of amazing stuff, which has not only been really good for all the community, but also given the full driving community a better name. Just don't go and ruin it. I know it's been a long time to wait. I'm itching to get this thing back out. Alright, it has honestly been so long since I've been out on the tracks. I need my fix. But, you know, just, it's a little bit longer potentially. But trust me, it'll be all worth it in the end. So I think that's my quick rant over. Anyway, let's go and chuck this loud exhaust on for you. I know you're all dying to hear it. So this is the pipe that we're going to be chucking in. We'll just do a quick swap out. It's not a fun job, it's a gross job, but we'll get that done, and I'll give you a quick fire up and just a few small revs. And there is the muffler. Right, now that that is out, let's fire it up and have a little listen how she sounds. Alright. Way better. Oh. Right guys, well, for those of you wondering what 2,500 RPM sounds like with a fairly straight through exhaust system, that's what it sounds like. Anyway, I'm going to pack up, head inside and wrap up the video. So yeah, let's get into that. Well guys, that wraps up today's video. I'm pretty sure I covered all the things I wanted to talk about, and at the same time I had a reasonably productive day in that I got a few things done in between having a bit of a lazy day as well. So that's why you saw me do jobs that should have probably only taken like an hour stretch over the whole day. Just doing other stuff in between, mostly just relaxing on a Sunday. So that's it for today's video. I'll do my best to have a video out for you guys next Monday. It will all depend on what is and isn't allowed on the next level down of lockdown, if we even get to go down to that. Sure hope we do. If so, I'm going to hopefully get my hands on some nicer camera equipment and try to do something a little bit fancy while I show you guys around Lando, or the comp truck, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for all the trips coming up, all the build stuff. I'm looking at getting into a bit more fabrication as well. I'm just starting to pick up a bit of gear. Been practicing welding for a wee while now, and it's getting to the point where I'm ready to start tackling my own projects on the trucks rather than just little random things. Anyway, hit subscribe to stay tuned for that. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, feel free to leave a comment down below, especially regarding ideas that you want to see on the channel, and yeah, where you want to see this all go. I'm all ears. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Cheers. See ya.